Dynamic versus static KPI. In the KPI, we mean key performance indicator. There is a we can see difference between the dynamic and the static. So let's take an example. Assuming that the top manager in a furniture company set a target of $200,000 as a gross profit for the current year. This is considered as a KPI because their target is what? $200,000 as a gross profit. So we need to have an operational measure that will show the sales performance and cost in each branch categorized by product and category of products. Also, we need to have an operational measures that show the performance of each salesperson and whether they achieve the target. We can say all of these are considered as operational measures. Operational measures, why? Because we are measuring something at the operational level. It helps in assessing the main strategic KPI. If they face a drop in the objective at any time, then they will be able to drill down using each of the measures to identify the gap and rectify the problem. So static KPI is presented in click by a reference line. Example, we can add a static KPI of $40,000 as a net profit on monthly basis for a selected year. So each month we have a profit, we have to achieve a profit of 40,000 because it is static over all months of the year. Then we consider that as a static KPI. How to create a static KPI in click? We create like a line chart, dimension it is the month, and in the expression sum of profit loss. And then in the presentation tab, we have reference lines. In presentation tab, we have reference lines. We press on add, and the expression we set 40,000, and we can give it a label like profit KPI. In this way, we will have the chart similar to this one. Okay, and this line in green color, it is considered as a static KPI. So as we see here, during Jan, we have more profit than the static one, whereas in Feb we are below. So which period of the year we are above the KPI? It is Jan, also June and July, and even we are at the target in August, September, above the target also in October. And whereas the other periods we are below the target. If we want to know why, we can do a drill down and know the reasons. This is called the static KPI. Static KPI because the key performance indicator is static all over the periods. Okay? How to do this? As I said, in click, we create a line chart. Dimension is the month, and the expression it is sum profit loss. This is we already know how to do it. And the presentation tab, we go into the presentation tab. There is a reference line. We press on add expression, and the values of the expression equal 40,000, and we can give it a label like profit KPI. It will be similar to this one. Okay, this is just we want to explain about the static. Whereas the dynamic KPI, in the dynamic KPI, similar to this one, a target is set by the management for each group of elements. For example, we can add a KPI field to Excel. In the Excel, we can add a field like KPI. We have the net sale. Remember, the values of the dynamic KPI is set by the top management. And this is done at the beginning of the period, like beginning of the year. They say, okay, we want a target, like a profit or sales for this month, this amount, second month, that amount. It depends on the experience because they know the low season and the high season. And they set an objective for each of the periods. Each of the periods is different than the others. Because we don't have a manager to set the target, we will do a simulation. We go to our Excel, we have the net sale, Okay, we multiply it by 1 plus rand between, it is a random number between minus 30 and 20%. So the values will be the net sale plus or minus a value between, okay, 30 and 20%. In this way, the system will generate at the level of each of the sale invoice a KPI which is it is equal to the net sale plus a value which is less than or equal to 20% of the net sale. And then we add it to the click. Once we have this, we can create a combo chart where we have the month as a dimension, expression sum of net sale, and expression 2, it will be sum of the KPI. And then we can see the difference between the two. If we want to see the example, I'll explain it.